Alright, so this is another video about the waiting for next beta mod. It looks like we're not getting the mod, or the new beta version this week. Might be until next week. Which is kind of the impression I got from the recent dev journals. I think that at least a few people are probably busy working on the preview stuff and probably more focused on that. I don't really know. Alright, so this is a new faction that I made that's mostly a mundane faction. Although one of the criticisms I have for this game, I know the game is supposed to be based on magic, but it should be possible and even advantageous in some aspects to negate the use of magic in favor of extreme mundane abilities. So that's something I tried to do here, although I end up using magic for almost everything. See, I started next to a crystal shard, and it's like, well, I can't not incorporate it into my city because I need crystal since I don't have any ore. But anyways, so one of the things that people don't like or didn't like when they first started the game is they saw the building costs were up at like 80 turns for building, or something near there for some of the better buildings that I added to the game, or fixed the current buildings we have available. But something I want to show is, so let's see, this is my capital, and I think, yeah, I'm on Season 76, which is 76 turns. So this is about where the early game starts. You basically get through the middle part of the early game is around turn 75. So I've been able to build the workshop. Took me about 20 turns, or no, let's see. I built Tower of Dominion first. It took me about 12 turns because I have 4 materials. The 3-4 spot's pretty much the best start you can hope for if you're next to a river or hopefully a forest. If you play on mountainous, you'll almost always be able to pick a forest start. So I built Tower of Dominion. It took about 12 turns. Then I went for Workshop, which is about 25 turns. But that was really just because my population was so low. And this is all on 0 taxes. Then next thing was Crystal Foundry, which took 3 turns, and then Lumber Mill took another, I think, 15 turns. But now that I have those built, and then I leveled up, so now I chose Mason, which is taking a total of, I think, 17 turns. And all those are pretty expensive buildings, but they all give me more production when I build them, and my population is at 134 on turn 76. So that's another 13.4 production added to the city, which ends up being 64, which is a 16 production per material, and 13.4 from population. So what I've tried to do here is basically sort of curtail the idea that you can get the best production Gildar and population from grain, which makes materials useless. In this mod, materials is far more important in the early game because you need buildings and you need units right away. Basically, you're not getting near enough materials from that 5-2 spot. So you want to choose a 4-3 or a 3-4, or even a 3-5, which is possible in this version, I think. I haven't seen one, but that would be the luckiest spot. So basically, those are the things that you want to go for. And one of the things that you can do if you don't get a good material spot is go for grain, build your Tower of Dominion, but maybe think about once you get that growth. In fact, you probably want to rush by it if you can. That would probably be better than getting a hero in the beginning because you already have units that are better than your first hero. And it's not like someone's going to come by and snake that hero that's right next to your base. You can kill them before they do it. So it's better to rush by Tower of Dominion so you're not waiting forever with 0 population to build it. And then your next strategy should be to just pump out a whole bunch of spearmen or even clubbed units or staff units to sort of fight the creatures around you, because the more creatures you fight near you, the more loot you can get, which then you can use small amounts of that gold to maybe get Workshop, which will help out if you only have 2 material. Workshop's a huge boon to your ability to build things. Also, Barracks is minus 25% labor for units, so you know, there's options for people who do choose grain or only have the grain option in the beginning, but it's not the most ideal choice. Materials are much better. Now, some people are going to say, "Oh, well, I'd rather wait and get a high-level city eventually," because I think you can actually get. Let's see. Let's extrapolate. I have 134 population by turn 76, so at the mid game, which would basically be another 75 turns, you'd have. Let's see. My growth is. Oh, well, that's research. 1.8. Capital bonus 4, 5. I'm getting about, if I only built this city, so I was focusing on just one city, I could get about 7 growth. So 7 times 75 is, basically, I would get to level 4 city pretty easily. And once you get a level 4 city, you can make your spells super powerful. Or at level 3 you can choose slums and just have a massive growth rate, and I think somewhere around 1200 population by the time you finish growing. Like, there's a lot of options with city level up, so you could choose that strategy as well, but it's generally a better start for the capital, I feel, to go for materials. This is my expansion base. I was sort of sneaky, and I built another 3-4, which is a really lucky build. And then I'm gonna rush by this lumber mill as soon as I have 600 Gildar. Oh, which I'll never have. I'll just let it build. But it takes 42 turns, which I think is fair, because I don't like the idea that you can just pump out an expansion base and have it start immediately producing as well as your capital or other established buildings. I like the idea that, first of all, growth is only at, what, 1.8? So it's going to take a really long time to get population-based production. And it's going to take a pretty long time, actually, to even get to level 2, where you could increase the growth rate, potentially. So what you're going to have to do is just basically let this sit here and wait, or you could use it to produce scouts or pioneers. But you're not going to be able to produce effective spearmen at any good rate, so you might just want to build lumber mill, which will allow you to build better buildings, which is what I'm trying. But mostly expansion bases are good because they'll heal units that are out on sort of your outskirts. Like, I have these forest drakes over here that are 800 hit points. I need to really avoid them, and the best way to avoid them is to be able to go into a city which they aren't currently programmed to attack. Also, there's a lot of these. Like, I think I killed 1, 2, 3... I killed 4 stacks of these mites and darklings that are sort of hanging out together, and there's still 2 left in this area, and the whole reason was to get to this expansion base. And then let's see, to my west there's some pretty serious spiders happening, which I personally hate. Oh, look at that. See, they this layer has spawned a secondary army that's going to go around roaming and look for enemies to kill. These ruffians spawned from this layer, and so the longer that I wait to sort of kill off these layers, the more dangerous it's going to be to travel from city to city. Also, I need to get trade up. I think that my road will go along this route, allowing me to do this quest much easier. Yeah, basically this is sort of what turn 75 should look like. And for people that think that it's going to be boring getting to turn 75, well, it's true in the 0.86 beta, and probably in the 0.87 beta that we'll get either this Thursday or next Thursday. But what I've done is I've added monsters to this whole area right here, so that you have to fight your way through to get to your first expansion. And I've literally spent the past 75 turns just constantly fighting on this front and then this front. Although this front was terribly lost. There was these bone ogres here, which I mistook for banished ogres. And the difference is that a banished ogre is smaller and carries a club. I don't think they have any traits. But a bone ogre has bash. And since I was using a group of 7 units, bash killed them all in one hit and forced me to use an escape scroll to get out of there. Which, really sucked, because I lost one of my starting units. Let's take a look at my starting units. So I have Elisa. She was my first, or Eliza. I don't know how they would pronounce it in Elemental. I don't speak Common. But she has some pretty good stuff. I got her the Ignis bow, which is from the Escort a Princess quest, which you'd think, oh, well, that's a way overpowered weapon. I mean, that's 12 pierce attack, plus 15 fire attack. It's minus 7 initiative, which kind of sucks, but if you're using it for a hero, you can just, sort of bonus that up with some more initiative bonuses. She's got some chain vambraces, and some pretty good earth spells. Also, she's summoner level 2. I've been upping her summons because I changed how the summons work. They're all more powerful as they get higher levels. So going from level 1 to level 3 is a huge bonus. But she's level 7 and has this bow, and she got it from the Escort a Princess quest, which is actually very difficult. I failed 2 of them, and I made 1 of them. And it basically it's hard to do because it'll put the quest farther away from where you get it, and to get to it you have to basically fight the droves of monsters that I've set up from here until there, and they'll actively attack you. It almost seems like they attack you more when you have the princess, but that might just be Murphy's Law. And also I've upped the aggressiveness, just in case you were wondering. So pretty much these monsters will always attack you if you get near them. If you're within 1 tile, you can pretty much be assured that they're going to hunt you down. And if they're roving, they'll hunt you down even if you're 2 tiles away, I believe. For instance, I accidentally walked into this wild land, and these ice wargs came out almost instantly and tried to kill my pioneer. It was an interesting little diversion strategically. Oh, what else was this video for? Oh, right. So one of the things I wanted to show was people should really pay attention to lumber mill. It's only 3 production per material, but minus 25% production cost is essentially minus, maybe 250 labor off of a important building. So if you have a city that's good at production or bad at production, you have to make the decision of do I want to spend a lot of time building lumber mill, because it will give me cheaper construction costs, but it's also 1 maintenance, and in the early game it's the only building that has maintenance, just because that construction cost reduction is so potentially overpowered. If you are able to find a good governor and send them out on quests where they survive, you can get your construction cost down to, I think, 70% reduction. So basically I said, well, I should at least have most of these do +1 maintenance. And then I'll get masons soon, which is another 50% or 25% reduction, which will give me a total of 50% reduction in labor costs for buildings. And then this city has 4 materials, a workshop, and all that. And then I start, I think I've gotten mining as well. Let's see, easy way to check. No, I don't have mining, but I'll get mining as well. That's another +3 production per material, and then I'll be able to build things like the Wonders of the Realm and things like that in probably about half the time as any other civilization. So it's a pretty awesome investment. It's a great way to go. Okay, so this is a really annoying bug. This river tile isn't exactly where it's supposed to be. It's a little high. I don't know what happened here. I know this isn't from the mod, because I get this in my .86 vanilla all the time too. It looks like they just didn't set the height right on this particular ending. Wish I could fix myself, but I don't really care. I'll just go like this. Yeah, it's definitely that ending tile. Oh well. Okay. So that's basically what it looks like at turn 75. What I will do is I'll show a battle. Let's see how long it's going to take these guys to not repair. Sorry, Galactic Civilization's kicking in again. Heal. I don't have any life spells because I chose all equipment for my Sovereign instead of magic, because I figured I could get magic from heroes and sort of skirt the issue. Get some really good gear to start out with, which was a good idea. But I think my Sov is... Udavi is only level 7, so it hasn't worked out as well as I planned. One thing that I can't figure out is how to manipulate experience points from enemies. Because it seems like certain enemies give you way too much experience, and certain enemies give you way too little. I would like to be able to balance that out, but I have a feeling that the game is basing it on level and maybe stats or attack values, or maybe just combat rating in general. A certain percentage of combat rating is being given out as XP, but I do not feel that it's really well balanced. I remember I killed some banished ogres, which are fairly easy, as opposed to bone ogres, which you should take note of, because I certainly will now. And it was terrible. They gave me, like, I think 250 experience for each unit, and I had 2 heroes in the army, which means I could have gotten 500 XP from them, and basically got a level 9 Sov to start out with. Oh, these mites have decided to migrate. Oh, I hope they don't go for that. Oh, well, I'll deal with them after the video. Okay. So let me just get through a few turns here. Maybe I'll play some music while you guys wait. Alright, so they attacked my settlement. That's the first time I've gotten my settlement attacked since I started playing War of Magic. This never happens. They must really feel they're superior. Or they're pissed that I took their land. Either way. Alright, so I'm Path of the Protector, which is a level 7 path. I added some new... Well, I should say my mod partner, whose name is, I think, in a different language that I can't pronounce, Werfendolfer or something like that. Anyways, has been adding some new paths, which are quite interesting and fun. I think one of the best things that was added is... okay, look at this. I upgraded the militia, so they'll use the best weapon you have, plus the best armor that you have, which could potentially make them have almost no initiative, but you get such great bonuses to initiative from barracks and walls, you won't ever notice. So anyways, these guys, obviously I haven't upgraded very much in that tree because they have standard axes and they don't have any shirts to speak of. That wasn't planned. Alright, so what I want to get to is these Darkling Lurkers. I want to flank them, but I know as soon as I attack... Oh, okay, that was lucky. See, if he would have come around to the side, I wouldn't be able to get around him. So my counterattack from Reprisal did well. I'm going to ask Werfendolfer to add in some, like an advanced, or I guess it would be improved Reprisal or something like that. All of my bow graphics are messed up. So these are my Warlord's Marauders. If you choose the Warlord trait, you get these chain-wielding or chain-clad battle axe-wielding units. But their initiative is so low to start out that they're not really that powerful. But they come in groups of 7, so they're pretty much the best tank you can imagine. But you won't ever be able to take the initiative on the battlefield. You can't take the middle ground like is best to do in a tile-based game like this or chess because they're so slow. So you basically have to resign yourself to the back field or not use them as a tank. Interesting little trade-off. Okay, so I won. Got a reasonable amount of XP for killing 9 units. Should be my turn now. I found a spear. Alright, let's attack these mites just for fun. Terrible sound on the mites. Makes me want to throw up every time I hear it. Sounds like dry heaves. Alright. Wow. There's so many monsters on the field right now, it's taking forever for these turns to end. I need to get a 64-bit motherboard soon. I always kick myself for not buying it. I can't believe they already built the Great Mill. Wow. I mean, I kind of sort of dilly-dallied around to it. Wow. Freaking altar. Oh, crap. That big spider got around me. This is one of the most dramatic fights for me because I really hate spiders. If ever there were a mortal enemy. Oh, actually, that's lucky for me because he's actually within range of my battle axeman. These guys do a lot of really good damage. Although I think that I give spiders very high dodge. If you ever tried to kill a brown recluse, it's not easy. They're very good at dodging your attacks. In fact, the best strategy, if you ever have a brown recluse near you, sneak up on it very slowly because they have better eyes than most spiders. In fact, turning on a lot of lights seems to bother them quite a bit. But it can also make them run to ground. I guess you're not here for spider advice. But trapping them in like a Tupperware container is so much easier than smashing them. Their bodies are built like cockroaches, kind of. See, that reprisal was pretty much my saving grace in this battle. Especially since I have a poisoned short sword. I'm not sure that I should be wasting their mega attacks on something so easy. I think I'm going to lose my Sovereign, which is only 33% of my mana in the modded version. I don't like losing half my mana. It feels too brutish. There we go. Okay. Yes! Okay, that was a huge break for me. I'll try not to scream into the mic. Crap, I didn't realize the Ravenous Harridan was going for me. Okay, I need to get away from it. Oh boy. Crap. My Sovereign has really high dodge. Sometimes I sort of assume that he's gonna dodge and he doesn't. So look at this. These guys are, they're level 6. It's funny that for race it says Human. But look, like, I'm about to lose them. Yeah, I just lost them. That was my last starting unit. So basically, I'm gonna play defense for the rest of the game. Not really the appropriate music for this massive loss. If I were a lesser man, I would, just load game by now. Ooh. Ah, this is a difficult choice. Do I want Earthmaster or Summon 3? One of the things that the Summons mod is going to do is, well, first of all, it's going to add, like, okay, let's say you have, Air 1 and, Water 3, and you have Summon or Summon, level 1. Well, if you upgrade to Summon level 2, you'll have, like, probably 1 or 2 new creatures that you've never used before pop up in your thing, because there's so many summons that it's going to look at what summon level you are, and also what magical level you are for each unit. So the more diversified a unit is, the more, like, it'll have different summons options than someone who just goes straight to Fire 5. And really it'll make Sovereigns more powerful summoners, because they are the only ones that have the ability to get all the elements of their kingdom or empire. It's an interesting little way of doing it. I think I'm going to go Earthmaster, because I really need an Earth Elemental now that I lost my 2 freaking Marauders. That's such a huge loss. I can't express it. Alright, so summon a level 5 Earth Elemental. So with Summoner, that will be, or I have Summoner 2, so that will be a level 7 Earth Elemental. Okay, so let's see how good that is. Level 7, Shockwave's okay. Immune to poison, that would have been nice to have before. Can't be knocked prone, which means I can go back and fight those Bone Ogres. Let's see, dodge is only 3. Oh yeah, I set up Earth Elementals to not get any extra dodge, because, I mean, how does this dodge anything? I think that it just gets bonuses to defense and Constitution, so... Yeah, Constitution bonus is 139.1. Nice. I need to set up a base level milestone, like the base hit points for every unit, because apparently it doesn't have any besides its regular Constitution. Although I saw in one of the videos that that the stats are getting changed, so I won't make any changes until I know what the new beta version is going to have. I'm really hoping that beer is a third stat besides creative materials, because that would be nice. It seems like the right theme for this game. Although it can be dangerous to drink a lot of beer while playing this game, because it's like, you know, you just, like, it's just natural to start sipping on your beer while you're waiting for your turn. And the worse your computer is, the drunker you get, which means that you're playing poorly, and so is your computer. That's not a good combination. Alright, well, my failures aside, that's what I want to show everyone about my beta mod. A lot of people are probably on the fence because they're thinking like, oh, well, I have to use his elemental depths, and I'm not sure if I like what, if I want to lose all the changes I've made there and stuff like that. But I would honestly just, you know, just try it out. I mean, you can always back up your modded files and use these, because these will all go into your game directory. So as long as you back yours up, you can put all mine in, and then play a game, see if you like it. I would honestly play to turn 150 before you decide whether or not you like it, because the beginning of the game is a lot different, and you might think that it's too slow for you, but I promise you, as soon as you get to turn 75, the building aspect of the game really picks up. And I've modded things in the mid game and the end game to a high degree that it just really isn't visible until you've actually gotten there. I mean, you can look through the tech tree and see, but like Labor Guild and a lot of the level up buildings really change how the game works. And what I would really like to do is have people play this and sort of say, hey, this is so much better than the vanilla version of the game, if you guys are going to change the building system, why don't you take some of Sean W3's ideas? Yeah, hopefully this video was in the least bit persuasive, and thanks for watching.